The only downfall for you guys on Periscope is that you will not see these beautiful slides I spent time creating. They're not that crazy, but hey, creative. Power lunch, welcome, Thursday, power lunch time, and I'm happy to have you with me. Power lunch for entrepreneurs with an appetite, and we are ready to go. If you want to tweet, you guys are already on Periscope here, but if you want to tweet, feel free at Terry T and hop over to my website at terrytsbshow.com. Here's the most important thing to keep in mind. Obviously, you're an entrepreneur because you want to do what you want to do. You want to do what you're passionate about, what you love. You want other people to love it so that they'll pay you for it. The risk, as I've always said, in doing what you love is you might be tempted not to charge for it. You might think, oh, but I love doing it so much. And it is the bane of most entrepreneurs that they are going to, especially solopreneurs and freelancers, you guys are particularly susceptible, that you will feel bad about charging something that you would literally do for free. But that's not how business works, right? However, there are times when you might want to do some things for free. I'm going to tell you when those times are. Now, there'll be a lot of people say, no, never, everything should come at a price, you're worth it, blah, blah, blah. But let me remind you that, siren outside, New York City, worth and value and price are only determined by what someone's worth, what someone's willing to pay for it. And sometimes if there's a big paywall at the front, I think that people won't jump to unless they get a sense of what they're getting. Now, let's talk about first, I think there are wrong reasons to work for free. Let's just get these out of the way. Wrong reasons to work for free. You're uncomfortable talking about money. If you don't charge because you're afraid and you don't like the money thing is a problem, usually entrepreneurs, quote, don't have as much a problem with this because they have to raise funding. But for a lot of other people who are just getting their businesses off the ground, this is a big problem. That's not a good reason to work for free. People value what they pay for. As I said, you love what you do so much that you can't imagine making someone pay and you feel bad. You want them to value and like you. So you'll do stuff for free because, oh, you just want people to like really value you. You value what you pay for. Stuff I get for free, I don't value as much. I used to work at a magazine for many years, and one of the big bonuses, you get so much free stuff. Truly, we did get a lot of free stuff. I mean, I don't think I bought shampoo for years. And every other, maybe once a month or every other Friday, the beauty editor would just dump all this stuff out onto the table. And she would be like, oh my God, it was like a free-for-all. You know, we would just want to buy all, we would just take all the stuff. You could take whatever you could grab. Oh yeah, good idea. Let's see if I can do this. So you can see the slides. So you can see my lamp. Oh boy, this is tricky, isn't it? I don't even know, does that work? This is very sloppy, but, and guess what? I brought home lots of stuff, bags of bushels of lip gloss, shampoo, and everything. And guess what stuff I used more? The stuff I bought, because I still would shop for my own stuff. The stuff I got for free just didn't seem as valuable because I hadn't put money into it. So yes, of course that matters, but let's move along. Another reason, a bad reason to work for free, it didn't take me that long, I could just do it. When you run your own business, you don't get paid for what's easy for you to do. You get paid for the value to the other person. And another bad reason, if you're doing someone else a favor as just a one-off dead-end thing. If it's for like someone you don't care about, that's a bad reason. It's like, what's the point of that? People should pay you on purpose and come back for more. They just should. Now, when I say work free, I don't mean you're going to be doing extended labor for free. It does not mean favor. It means free is you don't receive money in exchange as in a check, but you do get paid. I have an issue with nickel and diming people. I don't like to do it. I really don't. Hang on. I wish there was a better way to do this. I believe that as soon as you start to be about like, oh, this will cost this much, look at this much, I don't like it because then it feels small. And I want you to feel that you're giving something big. So you have to charge enough so that you don't have to nickel and dime. The reason you end up having to nickel and dime is because you don't charge enough to begin with. And so every time a client wants something new, you have to up it a little bit. It just feels small. It feels meager. And so I really don't do that. Unless someone wants a whole other service, then I work that in and figure out a budget for that. But the nickel and diming comes off as cheap. So when to do it, and I mean work for free. When do you do it? When you value the relationship. Wait. Yes, it's true. When you value the relationship, this is something you want to get to know this person, and you want to give to them. When you value the opportunity, if it's a once in a lifetime shot, maybe it's a group of people you wouldn't have met otherwise. Whoops. Crap. When it will give you more cred. Why do you think that no one's paying guests in the media? No one is, because they don't have to. Everyone wants to be in the media. Everyone wants to be on TV and radio. They don't have to pay for that. The value to you is greater, so they don't need to pay you, but it does give you cred, and it's worth doing it, right? When you want access. If doing something for someone without being paid gives you access to a population, a crowd, an audience that you wouldn't have access to, then maybe you're doing it for less or nothing, depending. And when you want feedback, if I'm trying something new out and I want feedback, part of the payment is that I get feedback from the people to whom I have presented or given in some way. And when it won't suck up a ton of time. Now, I know I just said, if it doesn't take you long, you don't charge for it, but that's when the value is to the other person. If you know you can help someone out, that it gives you a big opportunity or credibility of some sort, and it's not going to take over your life, that's another good reason to do it. There has to be something in it for you to do something free, not live. So I said opportunity, yours and theirs, right? It's an opportunity to get to work together. It gives you exposure. To test or build a relationship. This is really key. Because sometimes you don't know if you want to work with someone. And you'd like to test it out first. And maybe, like I said, build on the relationship. But there's no better way to test it than to just gift it. Because then they don't, it's like you don't owe them anything. As one of the Periscope folks just said, I have the thing turned around, so I can't see the comments. Just so I think you guys are talking amongst yourselves, though, which is fine. Learn something new. I was given an opportunity with a friend at a technology company. Now, I'm certainly not a tech head. I'm not an IT person. I was given an opportunity to, she was saying, hey, I don't know if this is your thing. And I said, you know what? I don't know if it's my thing either. And I said, just send it to me. It was some small marketing writing bit. I said, just send it to me and I'll look at it. Let me play with it. Because then I was able to play with it and see if I was a fit. If I had said, well, it's going to cost you this much, and they're like, well, I don't know. They don't know if I can do it or not. So because that was new for me, I didn't mind spending a little bit of time doing it just to get a sense. Because you're also there's some goodwill there. Yes, you get new contacts and clients. Those don't even you can't even put a number on those because there's potential growth there. You get the goodwill. There's a collateral there. There's a kind of social collateral. If I do something for someone and they didn't have to pay me for it, it doesn't mean they value that service more necessarily, but they know that I went out of my way to do it. I learned a new skill maybe, and this is important, I got control. Control is really key here because when I decide to do something for free, that's my choice, right? And thus, they can't really tell me how to do it. Like if I'm going to do it for free, it's on my terms. And I'll say, here's what I can do. I can lay down the law. If they're paying, then they have a little bit more say. But when I want to do something, but I only want to do it how I want to do it, doing it for free gives me that flexibility. And as I said, not only feedback, but testimonials. If you're doing a coaching, maybe you're doing a couple free sessions for folks, ask for a testimonial in return. It's not much for them to do, and if they liked you, they'll give it to you. Or maybe they don't, in which case it's helpful feedback. But if it's a testimonial, then you can use those on your site. You can use those in your marketing materials. This is what I say, be the drug dealer of brilliance. One hit, they'll be back. Because there's a lot of fear in that. Like, oh, they'll take it, they'll take my idea, they'll steal it. They can't steal you. So you give them an idea and they take it. They won't be able to execute it on how you could. You're not giving away the store here, but you must give them a taste, right? So how do you do this successfully? Be very clear about the arrangement. You see that all right over there? Ugh, hang on a second. Sorry. I feel like there should be a better way to do this. Hang on. This is so messed up. Be clear about the arrangement. If you're going to do something free for someone, you're going to be very clear about what you're delivering. You don't get to do it for free and then you just do whatever they want and however. You got to ask for what you want. Yes, I'm happy to present. And one thing someone invited me to do, and it was an unpaid thing. It was speaking on a like a webinar thing, and this person wasn't going to pay me for it, but I was getting access to a new community. I was able to practice some other new material and see what people thought of it, and also it helped build that relationship. And then I get to ask for what you want. Well, what I want is to be able to reach out to those people I presented to see if they would want to work with me more. And I said, is it possible to do X, Y, Z? She said, sure, like we worked it out. But under no rules is it that you have to do things for free and then not be able to ask for anything. That's not how it works. Get creative. Again, of course you need to get paid in money because this is the planet Earth. This is the Western world. Everything is done with money. But there are ways to get creative. Maybe they share a link in the newsletter. Maybe you get to do X, Y, Z. Maybe you get to have someone on your podcast and you do a podcast swap. I don't know. But don't be so narrow and only think it's money, 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 because there are so many opportunities, I can't tell you, where the money was nothing, but the opportunity was huge. Avoid scope creep. Anyone who's done any freelance work knows what this means. It means, oh, what starts as one little favor turns into another, turns into another. Let's say you agree to do a thing. You're like, okay, I'm just going to do this thing for you, and this will be great. And they say, great, well, could you add this, and could you do this, and could you do that? And say they ask you like a million things, and it's like, well, that's a lot more. Say, you know what? And then maybe you were a little generous. You say, you know what? I'll do this, this, and this. This is what I'm able to do without compensation. If you'd like, I can get you a quote for X, Y, Z, and B, and D, these other things you want. How does that sound? They'll either say, sure, get us a quote, or they'll say, well, that's okay. We don't need you to do all that. But you have to be clear about that, or else you could get taken advantage of. Why? Because it's in everyone's business best interest to get more for less. Don't be upset about it. And as I said, use it to create a relationship. This is important too. Set controlled times and opportunities for doing things for free. It's not a free-for-all here. You know, you don't get to just, hey, I'm open for bid. Anyone can just have me and just devour my calendar whole. I have very specific times that I keep for doing a free consult, or meeting someone new, hearing about their business. It doesn't run rampant, or else guess what? You just met 20 people this week and made zero money from it, and you can't live like that. So you pick a few days of your week, or a day of your week, or just a few hours where you will entertain helping people. Maybe it's giving advice. It could be mentoring. It could be anything that helps build your business and your network that doesn't mean someone writes you a check for it, or someone hasn't written you a check for it. If you have those built into your schedule as just part of your business development, you're continually seeding interest in what you do. And of course, make sure they know what this is worth. You can say, sure, I'm happy to do. Here's what I could do. Normally, I would charge X $1,000 for this, but I'm happy to do that for you because I'm interested in talking to these people, or I'm interested in helping you, or I really want to work with you. And, nothing is actually free. You will either ask for some, whoa, hello. Oh, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, screen share. Okay. Just totally screwed up. Google alerts. I told you I'm Google's bitch. That's what happens. You can be generous, absolutely. It doesn't mean you give everything away, because if you give stuff away endlessly, people take advantage and they don't understand what that generosity is worth. There's another reason though, why I believe that it's worth it to be a little generous and be able to have some things you can do for free. Just like lawyers will do some pro bono work, because it actually, I believe, and forgive me for this, like the secret language here, but it does create a sense of abundance. If I have something I believe I can give, right? If I can give stuff away in small and controlled doses, then that means I have enough to give. And it makes me feel abundant in that way. If I feel I have to charge for every second I'm talking to someone and I'm worried about it, billing them, it creates such a tightness. I'm not cheap by nature, and so that's my thing. But if you are cheap by nature, that's smart and good for lots of areas of business. But I want you to be able to give and give, and knowing that you can get back. That when you have enough to give, you give this sense of having enough. That's appealing. If someone thinks, oh, I got to jump a paywall every time I want to talk to this person, Now hang on, before we get to that. There I am. Now, so controlled times when you're going to do stuff for free. Strategic. It must be strategic that you're going to know, okay, this term or this quarter or this month or this week even, what am I going to do that's free? For me, Fridays are usually the day I have for business development. And that business development includes some consulting calls or, calls with people who are not paying me for my advice. Now, there's a tendency to think, well, I don't want to give away my ideas. I can't tell you how many people say this. When I was in magazines and writers, freelancers would say, well, and I was teaching freelance writers for a bit. And I said, you guys, you got to pitch really great ideas. And every writer, not every writer, but a lot of them would say, no, I can't. I'm so afraid the editors are going to steal my ideas. They're going to steal the ideas and do them themselves. Well, the fact is, that is a downfall of being a freelance writer. You don't own the idea. The truth is, there is no idea I ever got from a freelancer that I had never heard before. If they want you to, hi, Elena Cardone. Elena Cardone is joining us on Periscope, everybody. And out the window with my thought. Oh, God damn it. I forgot. I said hello and then I missed myself. What was I saying? What was I saying, Sabrina? I was saying that no idea, right. Yes, thank you. I got so into it, it was so memorable, even I forgot about it. That no idea is new under the sun. And if you're a great writer and you're a great deliverer of that idea, then they might want to work with you. But if there's something they didn't like about your pitch or your writing, or they don't think that you can do it, they might take the idea. No one owns ideas. So don't feel that you must cling to and hoard ideas. I cannot emphasize this enough. I give people ideas all the time because they can have the idea, but they can't do with it what I would do with it unless they work with me to do it. I mean, you wouldn't give away every patent idea you have or something like that. I get it. Some business stuff needs to be, under wraps for those kinds of purposes. But I'm talking about, I deal in ideas. I go, why don't you do this? Why don't you do this? And guess what? They don't just take the idea and run away. They never forget that they got it from me, and they come back. Like I said, execution, actually exactly creative. Execution is the hard part. And one of my favorite experts in this area was super brilliant. He's one of these guys who's so smart that, he's just too smart for words. His name is Daniel Degree. He's at madpipe.com. He's terrific. People hire him as an external marketing director. And he says, I give information away all the time. They can have my information. They can't have my intuition. They can't have the application of that idea without me. And so that's the thing. You have to trust in your ability to deliver on that. That is what your brand is. And that was something I was just talking about. It's another group, is that your brand isn't just your idea. Your brand is the delivery of and the execution of that idea. If they take your idea and run with it, they'll get a 50-cent version. Or they'll do their own version, and you wouldn't have wanted to work with them on it anyway, but they never forget the source of that stuff. Make sense? So I have found that, and maybe it's like in a way, that whole tithe thing when you give like 10% of everything you earn to whatever gives you energy, yes, you're selling yourself, not just your business. But that tithing idea, I feel like I tithe ideas. 10% of ideas, I just give them away. I mean, unless I want to use them, obviously. But the more I keep the idea machine going, the better. You know who's talked a lot about this is James Altucher and his wife. And his wife, forgive me, I forget her name, did a book on that. And that's their approach, is write down 20 ideas a day. I'll tell you what I have on my Wonder list, which I love using my Wonder list. I have an ideas list. Every time I have an idea for anything, a business idea, a blog idea, something I could do, a name for, I put it in that list and I know I have it. And the ones I think for other people, I just give them away. So don't hoard, don't worry, you'll give yourself and your soul away. Be strategic about what you're doing and with whom and why. The worst reasons to do it are when you are, I just realized that I didn't share those slides with you, did I? I am having a mild freak out. I didn't. I could scream right now. I didn't screen share. So basically everyone watching this did not see my slides. Just trying to get this whole thing down, Just trying to figure it out. Well, look, I'm going to do a recap with the slides right now. I'm going to show you because I'm really pissed because I spent a lot of time doing it and I realized you didn't see them. So are you ready for a really quick madcap thing where I'm going to share this? I really could kick myself. Hang on. So basically everyone on Periscope saw the slides and no one else. I'm glad I wasn't picking my nose through that. All right, are you ready? Really quick burn through. Literally flipping through the slides. Worst reasons to work for free. You're uncomfortable, you love what you do, you want people to like you, and hey, it was easy. Wrong reasons. People should pay you on purpose and come back for more. Free does not mean making a business out of giving favors to people, and it doesn't mean nickel and diming it. Here are the reasons when to do it for free. When you value the relationship, the opportunity, when you get cred, and when you want access, and when you want feedback. Do it when you want opportunity, exposure, to test or build a relationship or to learn something new. What will you get from doing some things for free very selectively? New contacts and clients, goodwill, a new skill, control, and testimonials. If you ask for them, you got to ask for it. You got to be the drug dealer of brilliance. One hit, and they will be back. How to do this successfully? Be clear about your arrangement, ask for what you want, get creative, and avoid scope creep. Make sure you know the terms of what you're doing for free. I like doing it when I don't want to feel I owe someone, as I said. I'm a bit of a control freak. I like to have control over what I'm doing. And when I have control, when I decide to do something for free, I'm doing it out of my largesse, and I don't have to, I'll do it on my terms. And that's important to me too. Set controlled times and opportunities for doing free work. And by the way, it's not volunteer. Someone had mentioned earlier, oh, yeah, volunteer work. Volunteer work is something you do because it's your personal mission, because you want to give of yourself and your skills. That's great. But that's a different thing than working for free. Volunteering, I put in a totally different category. Make sure the person who is getting the benefit of your free thing knows what it is worth. And that is the story. Now, before I forget, if you haven't already, hop on over to my website and sign up. You'll get a free copy of this book. The cover is kind of changing, but here's what it's basically going to look like. Take the work out of networking, and it's going to say how to connect with people and talk about yourself without feeling like a phony, because that is the problem. And by the way, networking is something we all do for free, and that is pivotal for your business, pivotal. And I have a very lean, mean ebook that's like super tight. It's like maybe 15, 16 pages tight. And it's some nice, new, fresh ideas for looking at networking, especially if you hate it. Make sense? Now, are there any questions whatsoever, aside from why am I an idiot and didn't screen share? Anything else? Periscope peeps? Anyone struggling with terrytrespicio.com? If you just guess, Google will know the answer. Here's the site. Actually, I'll show it to you. Can you see that? Oh my God, forget it. Let me turn this around. Hang on. How do I earn it? There's the website, terrytrespicio.com. How do I earn my money? Well, I will guarantee you that I charge for what I do, and I charge well, you know? Let me stop sharing, screen sharing. Hang on. I make my money. How do you develop new ideas without diluting your activity? Good question. How I make my money, I'll tell you, is I do a lot of coaching and strategizing with individuals and companies. I do a lot of that. I am it's so hard, right? Everyone has a hard time, and this is a bad thing, not knowing how. Talk about what you do, but I'm a branding strategist and a content producer. I help people, thank you. I help people figure out what they want to say and how to say it. I teach people to host podcasts, host radio shows, do TV interviews. I started in that arena because I have one of the jobs I do is as a media coach. But what I soon realized is that it's not just about what you say in the media, it's what you're saying all the time. And most people don't know quite what to do with that. You know, they say, well, what is my brand? What am I trying to say? And I just have, my scary talent is I can talk to someone for a little bit and get it and help them put it into words really quickly, because it has to be quick. You don't have a lot of time. Someone said, well, I have 15 minutes I can explain. You don't have 15 minutes. So how do you get stuff across and really pierce the veil in a way, like get through the din? So I do that across platform. I do it in writing, because I am by trade a writer first, through content development, videos, whatever, blogs, you name it, book proposals. I do that for individuals and people who are already media personalities and who want to be, but also people who are trying to figure out what the heck they're doing. And I'm about to start and launch a product for people, basically a service, where you could hire me for an hour and 15 minutes, like 75 minutes, to have me get to the bottom of what you're doing really quickly. And that's going to be offered on my site too. The types of clients I work with, oh please. When I tell you I've worked with liver surgeons, fitness professionals, psychiatrists, love doctors, therapists. I mean, to me, it does not matter what line of work you're in. I know how to seize the compelling message and make it read for other people. And as I say on my website, I can make what you care about compelling to other people. That's the job, to be compelling. I don't see what else there is to do besides be compelling, because it's not enough for you just to like what you do. Other people have to like it too, right? And do that now by doing stuff for free. Hello, did we even mention this webinar is free? This weekly thing that I get up at the crack to make slides for that then I don't show anyone? This is totally free. So why do you spend your time and energy to be charging for that? Because this is a low barrier to entry. It lets people see what I'm about, see if we would be a fit, see if this is something they want more of. So then I'm going to be creating things to give to those of you who want it. But how would you know if you didn't get a sense of it? So I give a lot of stuff away for free. Blogs, all kinds of stuff. Oh, can we talk about that for 1 second before I let you go? If the person who's offering you the thing wants to pay you an opportunity instead of money, there better be an opportunity. There's too many people, and this is the bane of all writers' existence, people just don't want to pay writers anymore. They just say, oh, you'll get so much exposure. Well, 100 years of newspapers and magazines, they never just paid an exposure, or writers would die in the streets. So while it's a shame that writers aren't getting paid what they used to get paid, the model's changing. To me, it means if you create content, the pressure's on you not just to write, but to produce something that creates results. It's turning writers into entrepreneurs, and I think that's a great thing. So that's the thing. So if you get an opportunity to blog for someone, and you're like, oh, but I should blog, it's good exposure. Well, not everything's good exposure. You know, is it worth it for you? Is it good? I mean, you have to see. Ask them if they want you to blog. I mean, you might be flattered. Oh, that's another thing I should add to the slide. Don't do things for free just because you're flattered. Oh, that's so nice they asked. Oh, I'm just so flattered. I'm going to do it for free. Oh, it won't take me long. Well, what's the value to you? Value will become better. You have better value if you're very specific about what you'll do and for whom. And that is my wish to you. And it is 12:30, so you are off to go eat something and stuff your gullet. Thank you so much for joining me here. And I hope you'll check me out over there on terrytrespicio.com. Any questions, tweet me at Terry T, and I will talk to you another time. Got it? Peace out, people.